Hey, wow, I have only 3 days left until I leave Los Angeles again. What's up? It's a culture detective here investigating your favorite days, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my top 10 best days of 2022. After yesterday's worst days, of course, you have to follow that up with best days. And even though after watching yesterday's video, you're probably like, oh my god, Culture Detective probably had a very, very rough time in LA. But that's kind of true, but also kind of not true because I actually had a great time in LA, especially in the second half of the year. I think I had a really good time, not because I love LA or any shit like that. No, LA is still stupid and silly, but it's because of what I have done and the friends I have made along the way. But yeah, before we start off, let me just say that 2022 might be the best year of my life so far because I have done things, I have opened doors that I've never done or opened before. So I really have reformed my social life and everything else. So starting off, we have a couple of honorable mentions. We have February 28th. On this day, it's not February 28th. What the fuck? No, it's March 28th. March 28th, I went to an apartment tour, and it was actually really good. This is the first time in my life looking for a place to stay that is not a host family nor an Airbnb. Because again, if you're not caught up with my lore, in LA so far, I've lived in a host family, the second host family, an Airbnb for a month, and then the apartment, which is the one I'm living at right now. So I went to the apartment tour for this apartment and I actually really liked it for once. I like that there's a dryer and a washer inside the goddamn apartment. I love that I have my own bathroom. I love that my room is kind of spacey. It is actually satisfying and I was actually really happy. Imagine being homeless for a week straight, almost homeless for a week straight in early March, and then freaking out and panicking again in late March because of housing issues, and then now seeing this apartment. It's really reassuring. And then afterwards, we have July 6th, and it's great because I shot my short film. I shot my short film in LA. I actually shot two short films in LA this year, one in LA, one back in Hong Kong. The one I shot back in Hong Kong was all right, but the one I shot here was a bit of a challenge because I've never shot a short film outside of Hong Kong before, and with non-Hong Kongers, one of the actresses is Malaysian, and the DP is Christian, who's a Latino. But it turned out really well. We wrapped in 6-7 hours, and the location was nice. And at the end, we got all the shots we wanted, and we are far ahead of schedule. So that was kind of amazing. All right, here we go. At number 10, we have June 8th, and that is the good ending. The good ending. Now, June 8th is about halfway through the year, but it's basically the end of my spring semester. And the thing is, the first half of the year has been really rough, but June 8th really showed me that there's hope at the end and there's a light at the end of the tunnel because that day is the last Film 31 class. And if you don't know this, I and Pepper and Thomas, Pepper, the Hong Konger girl, Thomas, the Chinese American guy, we were both in this class. And for a long time, for almost 1.5 months, I and Pepper have had this rocky relationship where I thought she hated me and she didn't talk to me and I didn't talk to her, and it's really awkward. But on that class, it's all resolved and the hatchet is buried, and we chatted again, and I even made more connections in that class. It felt really good. All right, at number 9 we have April 11th to 16th. This is spring break, and this is a bit interesting because there have been moments during this week that I felt absolutely fucking miserable. But these moments of misery do not ruin this week at all. But because of these moments of misery, I have to place this day a little lower than other dates on this list. But essentially, it's a really, really rich spring break experience, in my opinion, anyways. I've never experienced spring break in my life. This is my first spring break ever. And to start things off on April 11th, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once in the cinema by myself, yes, which is kind of sad, but it's still a great experience. I had so much fun watching that movie. I laughed, I cried. It's my favorite film of the year, or at least one of my favorites. Let's not spoil my top movies list. Okay, let's not spoil that. Okay. And then, anyways, on April 12th, I hung out with JT and Potter. This is the last time I hung out with JT and Potter in round one, anyways. And at first, I was actually really miserable when I hung out with them because they all had their own social lives and they all had a lot of friends and whatever. And I felt really lonely and jealous. But near the end of the hangout with Potter and JT at the Grove and at Melrose Avenue, um, I had a bit of a revelation. Instead of feeling sad and lonely and beating myself up for not having that many friends, I told myself, you know what? Instead of feeling sad, I need to feel motivated. I need to go out there and make friends and speak to people even more. I need to go even harder. So that's what I did. On April 14th, I hung out with Potter again in Westwood and we had a lot of deep talking. We walked around. This is my first time in Westwood and it's a beautiful place. I'm going there like later, like half an hour later. So there's that. But yeah, it's just pretty great. And I tried Chick-fil-A for the first time in my life. Even though I didn't try any like sandwiches or anything, it's still an experience. On April 15th, I went to Chinatown all by myself. It's just an adventure moment, really, solo adventure moment, and it's pretty cool. On April 16th, I went to UCLA with Jonah and another girl from both from my church, and we went to UCLA to see a Hong Kong Student Association talent show. And it's not any Hong Kong Student Association. It's UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, and UC San Diego, all three of them joining. So it's a lot of Hong Kongers in one room in UCLA, and it's surreal. It's a surreal experience because after that talent show, we even went to Sawtell to eat ramen for dinner, and then we even had ice cream, and I made a lot of connections as well. That is the day I crossed 200 followers on Instagram, which is a huge deal because it was 2017 when I crossed 100 followers, 2017 December, and it didn't cross 200 until 2022. So there's that. All right. At number 8, it is June 28th to July 3rd. Again, really awesome, eventful few days. On June 28th, I went to Pasadena with Jonah and another guy because we need to film a music video for some church gospel song. And we didn't only go to Pasadena. For the shoot of that music video, we went to Sierra Madre, which is extremely far away. At the time, that was the farthest I've gone from home, like from where I live. And it's really interesting. It's really hot and tiring, but also really interesting. And then afterwards, we went to Pasadena. We had dinner there, and we went to Yogurt Land, which is absolutely amazing. Even though I always say, "Oh, I hate LA, blah 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 blah," Yogurt Land is one of the best things about LA. It's one of the best places you can go. Yogurt Land is amazing, and I truly enjoyed that day. I had a lot of fun. On July 1st, I and Christian, the DP of my short film, went to Chinatown to look at the location for my short film shoot, which is really nice. This is the first time I had prepared this much for a short film to go to the actual location before the shoot so that we know the shots and the setups and everything so that on the day of the shoot we don't have to fumble around. So that was a great choice. And then by the end of that day, Christian gave me a concha, which is a Mexican bread, and it's good. I made a vlog out of it, so check it out. And then a couple days later on July 3rd, it is the July 4th celebrations. Me and a pastor and his family and a couple other people went to Culver City to watch fireworks. And this is my first time experiencing 4th of July celebrations, so that's kind of fun and all. But I think one of the most magical things about that day is actually the first time I met Aoba in person by accident. She was there and I recognized her. She didn't recognize me. but I recognize her because I'm the detective. You know, I just see people and I'm like, oh, it's you. So that was very interesting. All right, at number 7 we have December 15th, which is literally fucking yesterday. So one of the reasons why I plan to make this video today is because I know there is a chance that yesterday may end up on the list, and I was right. Yesterday is fucking amazing. Now, I wouldn't say yesterday is the best. Obviously, it's at 7. It's not 1. Duh. But it's still really satisfying. So spoiler alert. Um, I thought JT and Potter and Pepper will be 2 separate entities, but nope. At some point, all 4 of us came together, and that's what happened yesterday. I had hot pot with JT, Pepper, and Potter. Even though it's not good, it's very bad even. Like the food is really bland. But afterwards, we hung out at Pepper's apartment. We played card games and we drank, and it's awesome. We chilled, and it's just a fun time. I'm not huge on card games, but at least I get to hang out with people, and I feel included for once, you know? I don't feel like an excluded guy. I don't feel like a side character anymore. That feels good. All right, at number 6, we have August 9th to 12th. And this is special because this is summer interlude, because I actually went back to Hong Kong in the summer for 1 month. And so from August 9th to 12th, it is a very rich final few days I spent in Hong Kong. On August 9th, I had dinner with Cedric and Natalie. I and Cedric and Natalie haven't hung out by the 3 of us since August of 2019. It's been 3 years since we have done this. So of course this is a huge deal. And it was kind of awkward at first because I haven't seen Cedric and Natalie for a long time, so I didn't know what to say, especially for Natalie, given her crazy nature. Yeah, I almost didn't. I recognized Natalie, of course, but she physically changed quite a bit. So there's that. But it's still awesome that we get to have dinner and hang out and whatever. I cherish every moment of that meal. On August 10th, I had buffet at Jockey Club, which is a lot. Great food. I felt very full. I drank coffee stuff. Immediately on the next day, I played LARP, which stands for Live Action Roleplay, with Zara, Miriam, and Leia. For the first time, I played LARP for the first time, and it's an experience. It really is an experience indeed. And then on August 12th, I went to karaoke. It's been a long, long time since I've had karaoke, and it's the first time I've had karaoke with friends and not my family. And I actually want to go. It's not like I'm being dragged there or something. And I had fun. I actually sang along. I actually had fun. If you're new to the channel, you may find it normal that I'm just having fun. Yeah, sure, humans have fun. But you need to realize what kind of person I was back in 2020 and 2019 and prior. I never do this kind of shit, so it's crazy to me. All right, which number am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, at number 5, we got December 21st to 23rd. 2021, last year. So, yeah, these 3 days are simultaneously sad, but simultaneously fantastic, because it is the last few days of staying in Hong Kong before I come to USA. So there's already a sense of misery. There's already a sense of not wanting to let go. But because of that, I really, really went in hard, really hailed Mary in the last few days of spending my time in Hong Kong. On December 21st, I went to adventuring with Leia and Pink. I went to Chungking Mansion with Leia and had an Indian lunch there, which is really good. I've never adventured this much in one day. And it's funny because on that day I slept for 0 hours. And I still had a lot of energy to do that. And then we went to Mongkok so that I could buy a spare glasses. And then we went to Samshui Po to revisit a tomb, a bit of a museum that holds a significance to me. because of Mary, and we went to Leia introduced me to sugarcane juice, and then we went to a cat cafe. We met up with Pink, and we went to a cat cafe. This is the first time in my life going to a cat cafe, so it's a lot of fun. And I fed some cats, and they're cute. December 22nd, I had my final adventure with my family to Chengzhou, which is really nice, really chill day. On December 23rd, I went to adventuring again, 3 days in a row, to Lantau Island with Miriam. This is my final adventure in Hong Kong before I came here. I made a whole vlog about it. For each of these adventures, I made a vlog or two about this. But yeah, this is my final adventure with Miriam, and we had a lot of fun. We really did. I think one really beautiful moment was when we were at Tai O and we were taking a boat ride, and I looked at the ocean, and it's so vast, and it's so cold, and it's so beautiful, and it just reminds me of how large the world really is, and it makes me realize, oh my god, I need to leave. Yeah, Hong Kong, I miss Hong Kong, but I have to go. I have to come to USA because it's my destiny almost. All right, enough with the semantics. No, actually, we need more of that, because on August 31st, it is number 4. This is an insane class for me, because for 2 months, I've been really, 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 really wanting to end up in the same class as Aoba. So okay, Film 31. So last semester it was Film 31, and I and Pepper are in the same class, and Aoba, the Japanese girl, is on the other Film 31. Now, of course, logically, we would all get into Film 32, right? Yes. And so I need to guess. So there are 2 Film 32 classes. I need to guess which one Aoba goes to, and I need to be in that one because I'm just that curious on who Aoba is. Another thing is I also kind of want to be in the same class with Pepper. I originally planned to avoid Pepper, but then after burying the hatchet with her, I realized, okay, maybe I want to be with her. So there's that. So it was a huge gamble. The first Film 32 class was a huge gamble. I looked around to see if Pepper comes. I looked around to see if Aoba comes. I know Christian is in the class as well, and Eric and David will end up in another class, but that's fine. Turns out Pepper, Aoba, Christian, Eric, David, literally everyone else ended up in my class. Holy fucking shit, I made the right choice. Choosing Film 32 on Wednesday instead of Friday is one of the smartest choices I've ever made. Smartest gambles I've ever made. Had I gone to another class, Pepper, Aoba, Christian, Eric, they will all not be there. So I'm friends with Aoba now simply because of this, and I am forever grateful. This is one of the most epic things to have ever happened to me. I even got her Instagram the first day we met, like on that day, so that's pretty wild. All right. At number 3, I'm giving it to June 12th. As you can probably tell, I made a whole vlog out of this as well, but June 12th is the prime because it is the HKOS gathering. This is the day I told myself, holy fucking shit, I've made it. I've made it in life, So HKOS is a very newly formed organization, nonprofit organization in Los Angeles. It's essentially a bunch of Hong Kongers together screening movies and talking about movies and films. And that's pretty much it. Hong Kong films specifically. And of course, I'm a huge film guy. I'm a Hong Konger. I care about Hong Kong. This organization is literally something that I strive for. I need to somehow join it. So after one lucky incident after another, I got into the fucking organization itself, which is insane. It's wild. So again, there's a whole history behind this, but in April, I went to a screening of a band documentary screened by HKOS, and I thought to myself, I know it's kind of crazy, but what if I join this organization? Nah, it's too crazy. In May, I went to USC to watch Lan Yu. This is where I met John L., who is a film student in USC, which is insane. And because I made friends with him I got into HKOS. And the cherry on top is I brought Pepper there as well. So I and Pepper also joined. And it's just crazy. It feels like X-Men. I feel like X-Men because the guy who gathered us, so essentially what happened was on that day, me, Pepper, and about 8 other Hong Kongers gathered at the Hong's house. Hong is the co-founder of HKOS. We gathered at his house and we basically talked about movies and what to do with the organization. And it's just crazy. It's just fucking insane to me how he was able to gather young Hong Kongers all around the entire LA to this one location for this very new thing. I feel like X-Men. Like after this organization thing, I came back home. I was like, oh my god, I've made it in life. So that's beautiful. All right, let me be quick. At number 2, it is November 13th, and again and again. Now it's called again and again because I didn't realize how history, well, not real history, but I didn't realize how small my college is and how small the world really actually is. The moment I come out and socialize with people, it's actually quite small because people just overlap with each other. And that's exactly what's going on with November 13th because essentially this day is JT's birthday dinner, and JT invited me there. But the crazy thing is, a couple weeks before this day, Pepper met JT and Potter for the first time in a party that I've never been to because I'm lame. And it was kind of crazy because at that point, JT and Potter haven't seen me in a long time, especially JT. And it's a little awkward, but JT's a very extroverted guy, extroverted girl. So she's completely okay with inviting me there. And knowing that Pepper and I are also friends was like, oh, wait, you're friends with Enoch too? Oh, okay, you know. So yeah, I went to JT's host family for a birthday dinner. Her host is way nicer than mine, by the way, really nice. I'm going there tomorrow again, by the way. And I think the craziest thing about that day is really the 6-hour deep talk with Pepper, JT, and Potter. Me, Pepper, JT, and Potter, we sang karaoke together, which is kind of awkward because I don't know a lot of Cantonese songs, honestly. They know a lot more, so I feel kind of excluded. But even so, they don't exclude me. But yeah, we had a 6-hour long deep talk at JT's bedroom from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. We just sat on the floor and talked. And we didn't talk about whatever. We talked about ourselves and what we think of each other. And it's really a surreal moment. It just feels like a benchmark. There is me before this talk, and then there's me after this talk. It really feels like a very important moment in the history of my life in LA. So it's quite insane. It really is quite insane. And there's that. All right, number 1, let's get it on. September 28th to October 10th. Yeah, I know this is like 2 weeks, but it's easily the most amazing 2 weeks of my life. And that is because I fucking did it. For my entire goddamn life, for my entire life, I've been asking to be involved, to exist. Now, if you don't know this, back in secondary school, 3-4 years ago, I was invisible. People don't look at me. People don't talk to me at school. Whenever I walk through the classroom doors, nobody notices. Whenever somebody has a party or wants to go out to sing karaoke and have hot pot or whatever, I am usually excluded. People don't know I exist back in secondary school. And that made me extremely miserable. That is the number 1 reason why I was so sad back in my secondary school days, because I feel excluded. I feel like an outsider. I feel like a side character. I feel like a background character. I don't feel important at all. I feel disposable, like trash. And that completely flipped 180 degrees during these 2 weeks, because this is easily the biggest social boom of my entire life. For once in my whole life, I'm finally included in something. On September 28th, I was key grip in my Film 32 short film, which is really fun. Being in the film class really made a lot of friends. I got to, socialize with a lot of people. And again, the actual biggest reason why I got to improve so much in terms of my social life is because my personality has changed. Instead of being afraid to speak to people and afraid of offending people and afraid to be weird, you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. If you find me weird, then don't be friends with me. So I express myself more. But when I express myself more, people end up learning more about me, thus wanting to speak to me more. So in a way, self-expression is incredibly important. Oh my god, I'm actually learning to be human now. Final fuckingly. But yeah, this is crazy. September 29th is a club awareness day. I went to the main campus. I met Leslie, the Chinese girl there, who became one of my closer friends as of now. September 30th is the script writing club ice cream meeting. And again, usually these meetings are like kind of scary for me because there are a lot of people having fun and I'm just like, I freak out. If I see a lot of people having fun and enjoying their lives, I'm like, okay, holy shit. I need to leave. But I don't know. I just enjoyed myself somehow. And Aoba showed up, and Aoba's really nice to me. I talked to her a lot about everything. She asked me about Hong Kong. I asked her about Japan, and we just socialized a lot, which is really nice. And on October 1st and 12th, I helped Thomas make his short film. Day 3 and 4 of the shoot, which is extremely tiring, but it's just it's an experience, I feel included in something. For the first time in my life, people actually need my help. Like back in secondary school, nobody needed my help. I'm, again, invisible. If you need help with math, you got Kingsley. If you need help with English, you got Natalie. If you need help with Chinese, why would you ask me? I suck at it. If you need help with anything, like playing volleyball, of course you wouldn't look for me. So I literally was of no help at all. And even as a friend, I was just so excluded. People just didn't realize I exist. But now Thomas would text me asking me for help. That's insane. On October 3rd and 4th, nothing all that crazy happened, but I kept on running into people in the college campus because I know so many people. I keep running into people I know, which is crazy. And they actually fucking greet me. They actually say hi to me. Like when I walk by, I'm not just like walking by as if I'm invisible. They actually acknowledge my existence, which is a huge deal. On October 5th, I hung out with Pepper again, and I grew a lot closer to her. It's crazy because back in the first semester, aka last semester, not really the first one, I and Pepper didn't get to speak a lot because every time I try to speak to her, Thomas is here and I have to speak English with her and she's not good at English. But right now, me and Pepper were both in Film 32. After class, we would actually hang out a little bit. We would walk to the bus stop. We would take the bus together. We would chat. And it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to chat with people. October 7th and 8th, I helped Aoba make her short film. It's funny how back in April, I was like, oh my god, there's this huge group of East Asians in my college, and it's called the EAS, the East Asian Society. And it wasn't exactly like that, but it's also kind of like that. And I finally got in, essentially, because Aoba's short film, the crew, for the most part, are Asians. Leslie's in it. There's a guy who's called Cliff. He's Malaysian, and he's also one of my closest friends now. And it's just fucking amazing how, it's all, dominoes effect, right? I went into the Wednesday Film 32. I made friends with Aoba. Thus, Aoba asked me for help for her short film. Duh. This is fucking amazing. To top things off, on October 10th, I found out that I got nominated for Best Sound Editing for my short film, which is crazy, for Amateur Art House Film Festival. I joined this film festival for fun. I know I wouldn't get any awards or be nominated or whatever because my short films really suck. But apparently not, because I got 3 nominations: Best Sound Editing, Best Editing, and Best Overall Short Film. I didn't win any of those, by the way. But being nominated is already a huge deal for me. It's already a huge deal. I was so proud of myself. And that is that. And it's scary too because so many good things happen to me within such a short period of time. I feel a little scared almost. Like, why aren't bad things happening to me? This doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like suddenly something really bad is going to happen and ruin my whole life. I don't know. But so far, the last few months of my life here in LA is amazing. It's amazing, powerful, beautiful, and I am really grateful for everyone and I'm grateful for myself. And this is the first time in my life having some self esteem, or at least the first time in a long time. Like, I'm actually proud of myself for being able to socialize, for being able to speak up and express myself. If I want to ask someone a question, just go ahead and ask them. I'm not going to hesitate anymore. I'm not going to feel embarrassed by it anymore. If I want to talk to someone about things, I'll just go talk to them. There's nothing to be afraid of, actually. I've changed. I really have changed. Los Angeles have changed me. And I'm grateful for that. So, what are your best days of the year? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching. Gotta go to Westwood.